Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, Managing Partner with Levinson and Associates. And with us today, we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President. We also have two special guest speakers. The first one is Stephen, who actually created our exclusive mortgage protection lead program. The second guest speaker is Kent, who joins us all the way from Texas, who's a very successful agent of ours who has been using the program and actually helped us pilot the program a couple years back now. So he's been involved just about every single week, and he is nice enough to take time out of his busy schedule to speak to our agents today on a Monday, very busy afternoon. So we appreciate him joining us, and he's going to give you some insight on what works, what doesn't, and really talk about his real-life experience with the LEAD program. So I think it's just nice to hear it from a different perspective. Of course, you'll hear me and Joe speak about the program as well. We're going to show you some sample lead scripts. We'll show you an example of what the actual leads look like so you can really try to jump in and get your feet wet here. We're also going to go over some new technology that you can use with the LEAD program. You can also use it in your day-to-day business. We have some great new stuff to talk about as well. And most important, and the main reason for today's webinar, is we have a fourth quarter fire sale on our mortgage leads, which you can save more than 15%. And this is a limited time only. Okay, it's only fourth quarter, year end. So you have about, let's say, 6 weeks to participate. And then starting January 1 of 2016, the prices go back to normal, okay, which is still a great deal. But we really wanted to emphasize it and push our agents to take advantage of the fire sale. If you're thinking about the program, now is the time to do it. If you've been ordering a while, okay, you know the program works, which is why I assume you're back on today's call. So take advantage of this great pricing, and you have about a month and a half left, so now is the time. Okay, let's dive right in here. Me and Joe are going to speak for about 3 to 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to introduce Stephen, who created the program, and then Kent is going to come in and give his 2 cents on what works and what doesn't. First off, very, very excited about this once again, and this is actually the November issue of Insurance Newsnet. They come out with a Tech Guide special edition, and we are featured in the Tech Guide, as you can see on the right side. It talks about our brand new CRM tool that we just rolled out. In fact, we have a soft launch scheduled tomorrow and then a hard launch next week. But what this system does, it puts your back office on complete autopilot, okay? So it's going to organize all of your contacts, birthdays, anniversaries, policy conversions, exchanges. Basically, it does everything for you in a back office that runs by literally flipping a switch. And the neatest part is we have different automation campaigns that are built in. So let's say, for example, and I'll just give you a quick example and then we can move forward, but let's say you have your website up and running and it's BillLevinson.com, and you have different calculators and quote engines on your home page. And one of the buttons is a disability insurance calculator. So your client goes into your website, clicks on the DI calculator, okay, to figure out how much disability benefit that they need. And what happens is your agency automator system in the background tags that prospect as a possible disability prospect. So now the system is going to send them an email every week that says, hey, I saw you're interested in disability insurance. These are a few facts that you need to think about. These are different products that we have available. And then it does this, say, for the next year until that prospect makes an appointment with you to talk about a disability policy. So really neat stuff. That's a quick 2-second overview, but it does a lot more than this, and we actually co-op this with our agents. We're going to have a webinar in about a week or two, so just keep your eyes peeled. We're very excited about the new Levinson Agency Automator, and that's what this article was all about. Okay, let's move forward here. We have a brand new proprietary exclusive E&O policy that's underwritten by AIG for Levinson agents only. This is awesome, of course, for yourself, and if you want to build a downline or if you already have a downline, okay, this is an E&O policy for $395 for $1 million of coverage. The best part is this covers any B-plus rated carrier or better. So as you know, in the past, it's always been A-minus rated or better. So with our brand new Levinson E&O policy, it's B-plus rated or better carriers are covered, and the price is $395. That is anywhere from 5 to 70% less than our competitors, and you can only get this through us. You can sign up online from our website in minutes, print your certificate, and you are done. It's that simple. And again, use this to recruit agents because they can't get this anywhere. Okay, that I promise you, because they built this policy just for Levinson through AIG. So we're very excited about this. Let us know if you want more information, and we will get you up and running. Joe's going to talk about our upcoming training webinars, and then we're going to dive into our various lead programs. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I just wanted to mention a couple upcoming training sessions for this week. Tomorrow, which is the 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern, right from the Levinson Annuity Desk, we're talking about a brand new Income Pay Plus annuity product. We're going to be rolling it out. Josh Hoffman, of course, in our office is at extension 23, heads up the Levinson Annuity Division. We're going to be talking about some great annuity sales concepts, some great annuity marketing pieces you can start using as soon as tomorrow afternoon after that webinar. And then Wednesday, which is the 18th at noon, we actually are covering Sagicor Life's Accelerating program. That's basically a non-med product. You can use both term, whole life, and universal life. You can get actually underwriting answers in just about 15 to 20 minutes. You can do a quick telephone interview with the client. It is right now one of the fastest underwriting programs we're using. Again, that's through Sagicor Life. At 3 p.m. again on the 18th, we're actually having another webinar, which is actually a guide on how to actually start or how to actually run through a life insurance client review. So we've got some great marketing pieces you can use as an agent to actually bring to the client. Look at a client's existing insurance product. This has been a really hot topic, especially over the last couple of years. We have access to a lot of new products that incorporate living benefits. So it's a great selling point, a great way to review that client's policy. And if you're part of that scholarship platform that we offer, you can actually give your clients an incentive, give them a free scholarship, additional scholarship points, just to actually have that client review with you. So a lot of great material is going to be covered on those webinars for this week. Of course, you can go to CarrieLevinson.com to register for any one of these upcoming training sessions. At the bottom of this screen, you'll notice we actually have the 2016 Levinson Expo date, which is April 8th. That's a Friday, 2016. You can see from the pictures here, it is right on the beach in sunny South Florida. This is a great day full of sales ideas, concepts. Of course, we actually touch on all the new technology that we're bringing to the field force. This is a completely free event to attend. The other great thing about this day, which is actually, again, Friday, April 8th, 2016, is we actually put together a sales contest for those agents that are not local to attend the expo. Premium requirements actually just start at $15,000. You can get a free night stay at that oceanfront resort. The great thing about this contest, of course, it actually qualifies for all product types, whether you're writing life insurance or annuities or long-term care or disability. You can actually pool all your production together. Again, it's free to attend, but to get those free round-trip airfare or that free night stay at that hotel, those packages start at just $15,000. We'll send out an email this afternoon with all the different production requirements. So a day you definitely do not want to miss. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the Mortgage Lead Program. Like Bill mentioned, we've been using this program for a little over 3 years now. We do have a fourth quarter lead incentive here where we actually reduced the prices quite significantly for the fourth quarter. What's very important about this lead program to know is that these leads are not shared. They're exclusive to each individual agent. We all, I'm sure, have had experience with different lead companies where you're getting 5 or 6 different agents that are calling that same client. You will not find that with this program because they're not being sent to any other agents except for yourself. The minimum order for an actual batch of leads is 12. You'll see the cost per lead actually goes down depending on how many leads you're ordering. What's also neat about this program and exclusive to what we're able to offer agents is you actually receive free leads with every single batch. There's no minimum order to actually get started, so you can order week to week. You can test the program out. We're not going to automatically charge your card every single Monday afternoon. So you do have to opt in every single week. Leads are delivered via email every Tuesday. So for example, those agents that are ordering today are actually going to receive their leads tomorrow afternoon, typically around 5:30 or 6 p.m. We are actually passing through all the direct costs, all the direct co-op programs to actually make this the most affordable lead program that we've ever worked with. So we do ask that any business that be placed actually go directly to our office. Of course, that's something that we request in this type of platform. Another great thing that we've done with this program is we actually put together a lead reimbursement program. It's very simple to follow here, a great incentive to get started. But basically, step 1 is ordering the leads. Step 2, once you write and actually place a policy that was sourced through the lead program, we will reimburse you for the actual lead cost of each placed policy. It's not uncommon for us to send out checks on a weekly or monthly basis to agents that are using the lead program, where we're actually reimbursing them for 3, 4, 5, even sometimes 6 or 7 different leads that they ordered through that program. So you're actually going to get your money back for those leads that you place, and we feel that confident about the program that we put this together as an extra added incentive to help you get started with that lead program.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to introduce Stephen, who created the program with us. And he's going to give you some insight. He's going to show you different samples of the actual leads themselves, different scripts. And then we actually put together a FAQs page. So we're going to have all of your questions answered. We're actually going to send an email with all of this information after the webinar. But again, take out a pen and paper. Any questions that might come up, we will visit after the call. You can call us or shoot us an email, whichever easier. Our purpose is to get you comfortable so you're successful using the program. So without further ado, Stephen, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
And Joe, thank you so much also. And I'd like to thank all you folks out there listening today. My name is Stephen, as they said. By the way, I don't want to slight Kent. He'll be following me, and I do so much appreciate him taking his time, volunteering his time to share his experiences in the mortgage lead program. I myself put this together, this mortgage lead program, from my own experiences. I, for many years, had ordered leads from various sources, from various vendors, and parts of them were good, parts of them weren't so good. And so what I did was I pretty much cut and paste together what I felt as an agent, as a writing agent, would be the best way to be successful with this type of lead program. And, the best thing about any lead program is that it generates activity for an agent, and this one certainly does that. You'll find by ordering, and I'll always use the 20 mark, which actually provides you with 5 extra leads, free leads. So you're dealing with 25 prospects. And, you're getting on the phone with these folks, and they're quality leads. Like Joe said, these are not shared leads. So you got to get right on these as soon as they're sent to you Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, and try to contact each and every one of these people as soon as you can. But what you'll find as a direct result from this lead program, and there's no question about it, because anybody that has ordered from this lead program has continued to order. We have I have found a huge nucleus of people that over the course of any given month are ordering 2 or 3 times a month, if not every week. And they're doing it because they're successful. It's generating sales, it's generating premium dollars, and of course, it's the bottom line is being affected in a very positive way as far as their income. And the great thing about it, as Joe was saying about the fourth quarter promotion, is, and I've done this for the past 3 years, and I do it for a particular reason. Number one, I really do want to make it as attractive as possible for anyone that hasn't participated in this lead program to try it and commit yourself, you know, to at least a few orders, because you'll see over that, without question, you will see some very positive results for yourselves. You know, that's number one. So I wanted to motivate people, and then also, being that it's the fourth quarter, I wanted everybody that does get involved and does participate in this lead program to finish the year with a flourish, with a real bang, because I myself always felt that at the end of the year, you know, you take a glance back over the past 12 months, and it's nice to shake your head in an affirmative way and say, I had a good year. And this will allow some people that perhaps are feeling that they didn't do as well as they had hoped to, maybe give them that shot in the arm to finish up, like I say, with a real bang, you know. One thing I want to mention, and you know, we're talking about an investment for an agent as far as buying leads, you know, and you have to weigh things. You have to put everything in a balance, in a perspective. And you know, looking at this program, this specific program, because I mean, after all, this is my baby. The risk reward to me is unparalleled. When you think about the money that you're putting out, the dollars that you're putting out, and what you can hope to see as a result in the way of sales, is just phenomenal. And again, I think Kent will give everybody a little perspective into that, you know. But taking a lead order of 20 leads, which actually provides an agent with a added promotion this quarter of a full 25 leads, that comes to about $12 a lead when you break it down per lead with the freebies. And it doesn't take much just to recoup your cost. I mean, it's laughable. And the possibilities are there, because you're generating new people to talk to, you're generating activity, and that all leads to the bottom line, as I said before, you know. And I know this works. I can't emphasize it enough. You know, the quality of the leads, and I want to mention this. This is very important, because I think Joe had said something about shared leads and that kind of thing. And I'll use 100 leads. We'll get in 100 leads from wherever in the country. And I would say probably 25 to 35 of those leads end up in a shredder. We don't even distribute it. We won't even consider it. We won't do it because of ages especially. And I've seen a lot of leads that both people, you know, the borrower and co-borrower as well, are both well into their 70s, if not older. We go a step further. If one of the respondents, let's say it's, again, borrower and co-borrower, husband and wife, what have you, even one of them well into their 70s, meaning 74, 75 years or upwards of that, we won't distribute that lead either, okay? We won't distribute a lead that the mortgage is too small, okay? Now, there's cases where, and we use our insight and experience, and we'll see where perhaps it may be a second mortgage or an equity loan, but the ages are good, and so we'll send it out, knowing that there's additional loans that are involved in that case. But what I'm trying to say is that the quality of the leads themselves, we scan each and every lead. We view it, we edit them, we scrub them. We make sure that it's a lead that if we were to send it out, we ourselves would be satisfied with, okay? So along with pricing and everything else, I think it's a perfectly wonderful type of lead program for any agents that haven't tried it to go ahead and jump in, especially with a promotion, okay? What I'd like to do, Joe, is to put up a sample lead, what agents who aren't familiar will expect to see. And you'll see the information on this particular lead. It'll show the county, and the reason, you know, we request that agents submit with their order the areas that they're most interested in contacting as far as prospects. Now, I will say this, and I say this very honestly, and I don't care what state it is. If you leave it open to us and say anywhere's in the state of Ohio, anywhere's in the state of Nebraska, anywhere's in the state of California, okay, we will give you whatever the lead amount is, the very, very best leads throughout that state. Okay, we will, if you give us particular counties, we will first attempt to fill it in those counties. They may not be the very, very best leads, you know, so I want, you know, everybody to keep that in mind, because I myself feel, because this is primarily built on telephone, e-app, drop ticket type of operations, okay, it really doesn't matter if they're 50 miles away or 350 miles away. You're going to be doing the job with these leads, again, with e-apps and drop tickets kind of business by phone. So keep that in mind. You know, this is something I'm putting out there as a suggestion to get the very, very best of the good leads. Okay. Anyway, so you see the county on the top left. On the top right, you'll see the mortgage amount. And I will say that the vast majority of leads will have a mortgage amount. Sometimes they're not available. You can assume if it doesn't show a mortgage amount, that's the case. And of course, it will show the person it was sent to and their address. And then you'll see a profile of the borrower and hopefully a co-borrower, and with their names and date of births and heights and weights, and if they're smokers or non-smokers. Okay. And the biggest thing I can put out there for you agents that haven't used this program before is this. It's very important to feel comfortable with the script, with your telephone approach to these folks. You need to feel comfortable. You need to sound confident. And remember, this is your call to them. These are people that did request to get information. So you're not cold calling these people. They expect a call. There's virtually no resistance as far as the conversation itself. And the most important thing in your approach to these prospects is to ask questions. And I think Kent gets into that a bit from his experiences, because you will uncover some very, very interesting things from the mouths and the thoughts of the prospects themselves, but you need to give them an opportunity to talk. You ask them open-end questions, let them talk, let them express themselves, any hopes, any misgivings they have, and that will sort of create and form a picture for you, okay? Something else also, before you call any of these prospects, feel comfortable. Feel comfortable with their names, and as far as their ages, you know, look at the date of birth, and rather than repeat back their date of birth, say, you know, you're 57 years old, right? Non-smoker. So it's more familiar. You know, it's not cut and dry, and that's the whole idea, is to make people feel comfortable as much as you can by the telephone, because these are people that you and they will never set eyes on each other. So this relationship that you have is going to be built by telephone. Okay, and then towards the bottom you'll see contact numbers. All these will have at least one, and the majority of leads will have at least two or maybe even three sometimes with the work numbers. And so you have, and these are updated, fresh leads. So it's not like these phone numbers have changed or been disconnected. It's very, very rare that you'll have a problem with a phone number. You may never reach them. That's how some people are. But the numbers themselves are valid numbers, because none of these leads are more than a week to 2 weeks old from the time that they filled it out to the time it gets into one of your hands to call them. Okay. And basically, you know, there's a script that the Levinson Group has on their website. Pull it out, feel comfortable with it, make changes if you feel that there's things you want to add or not say for yourselves that, you know, you're comfortable with. But, you know, basically the script, again, was designed by myself. It's very simple, it's to the point, but it leaves a lot of room for expansion when you're talking to people, and that's where you're going to find your sales. Okay. So this is what a lead would be. That would be very much to a fully underwritten exam type of lead, based on ages, based on the amounts of insurance as far as the mortgage. The second lead is more of a simplified lead. Now, you could look at this and you'll see, again, the information is identical as far as what it provides you with, but the mortgage amount is somewhat smaller. The ages of the borrowers are somewhat younger. So you could look at this and say, okay, this could be more of a simplified type of case where an exam isn't necessary, that you can still provide them with good coverage at a good price because of all the resources that we have through the Levinson Group. It could be an Assurity, a Mutual of Omaha, a Sagicor, or what have you. So, there's some good companies that we can use for these kinds of cases also. The first sample leads, are more of a Genworth or a Banner Life or an AIG or a Transamerica, what have you. So, but you make this determination even before you dial the number to say, okay, this is probably one I'll be going with a fully underwritten with an exam or perhaps otherwise, But that's why I say feel familiar with what you're looking at before you dial it yourselves. And basically, that's how this program works. I'd like you all who haven't participated to try it. I know from my heart, from my experience, that this will work for you. This will produce monies for you, and that's the name of the game. Thank you guys for your time, and good hunting.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. So next up we have Kent, and I think everybody will walk away with a little bit of, I call them nuggets, that Kent will speak about. He really gives a great perspective. So once again, I'm going to introduce Kent from Texas. Kent?
Hey, thank you, Bill, Joe, Steve. Thank you for your insight. I know how much you guys put into this. So I'd secondly, like to just compliment the Kerry Levinson agency on their innovation and support that they give, all of their agents, because I would challenge anyone to get out into the world of insurance, understanding the lack of support that is out there from a marketing standpoint. So just be appreciative of the systems that they have put in place. Let's jump right into what I would call some of my experiences with this program, and I'll say that I think everybody would agree that leads are the #1 challenge in the world of our life insurance businesses. So having said that, we've got to find a place to get those leads. So I like to always start off by saying, I suggest that this is not the only source for leads. You need to have about 3 different sources to find your leads, and I would encourage everybody to find their leads through a mortgage lead program such as this one, plus however else you find them through referral systems or whatever it is, but I always believe in the numbers of 3. So rates are about to go up in the housing market. That's no surprise, but they continuously say that as we watch the news and watch the economy. Being in Texas, we have a lot of fortune going on in this state. I've been through a lot. As an old banker, I have a lot of history in good times and bad times, and what goes up will come down, and what is down will come up. So Texas is right now is booming, so I'm very fortunate. And having said that, everybody's refinancing homes or they're purchasing homes, and even if you're in tough times, people are always trying to refinance a home when rates are down. So I would encourage you to look at the 4th quarter as an opportunity, because the year is ending and people have a to-do list. Whether we like that or not, it's a reality, because people have a tendency to say, I'm going to get life insurance before the year ends. I'm going to refinance my home before the year ends. I'm going to do whatever, get long-term care, because it's something I've been procrastinating for the last 1 year or 2 years, because let's face it, people are overachievers in procrastination, and life insurance is something a lot of people don't believe they need to have, and it's our job to convince them it's what they must have. So having said that, this program is just one tool in order to build your book, and again, I would encourage everybody to get 3 primary lead sources for their business. This lead program, I will say, is a calculated risk, and what I mean by that is You know, it's a real simple calculation. You spend X amount of dollars in order to bring in X amount of dollars. So my experience is that and when you buy leads from this program, there is one, and I'm telling you, there's one in the group of leads that you purchase that will really kind of get your juices going. There's about 4. If you buy 20 leads, 4 or 5 that aren't going to be terribly exciting. They're looking at 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe $100 a month premium. But there's one, and you're looking for that one that's going to bring in $350 to $500 a month for you. And so you have to believe that that's the case, and I'm here as a testimony that it is in fact true, that it's happening. So this is something I would suggest that you keep in your mind, is that that one you can only find unless you go through all 20. So the Mortgage Lead program is really a door opener, or I'll call it an icebreaker, that can target anywhere from $10 to $1,000 in a month premium. And I say that because that is what I've experienced. I have some that pay $10 a month. I have some that pay $1,000 a month. But we all know that the sum of the parts is what we're looking for. We add up all of these premiums per month, and we turn back and look, and we have a guaranteed $5,000 or $10,000 base salary, if you will, because you're building you're ramping up your book of business, and as you ramp it, you're trying to get that book of business to give you some kind of security in your life so that you don't struggle and one month have $20,000 in the bank and one month have $20 in the bank. Life insurance is can be a very inconsistent business. But what the LEAD program tries to do is tries to stabilize that business by building security, because there's 2 different ways to build life insurance. There's security and then there's profitability. So when you're placing what I will call singles and doubles into your book of business, meaning that those accounts are $50 a month or $200 a month, those are your singles where you're building security. But when you get one that pays annual $10,000, that is a profitability situation. You're able to go buy a couch, or you're able to buy your wife a piece of jewelry, or you're able to go on a vacation, or pay off a credit card. So there's 2 ways to build your business. You have to implement security and profitability into that formula, and you can determine what your parameters are for a single, double, triple, or a home run. I like to use an acronym, FORM, to talk with my people when I'm on the phone. All that FORM stands for is family, for the F. O stands for occupation, R stands for recreation, and M stands for message. So when you're out and about or you're on the phone, you want to use something very simple so that you can have a conversation. Some of us are very natural at having conversation, but some of us need little assistance, a little bit of assistance to help us get through those talks. So you want to talk about someone's family, their occupation, their recreation, and of course the message is, if you've ever thought about insuring your family in the event that something happened to either the husband or the wife, and who's your primary breadwinner, and if something happened, do you know how that your family could continue moving forward? Again, the icebreaker is basically to discuss the mortgage protection interest, and it's evidenced by the completed questionnaire. So the fact that someone sent in that answered questionnaire tells you that there is an interest. Now it's up to us as the agent to take that interest and turn it into a conversation and build their trust, and then turn it into an application, which turns into money. So you use the FORM, which is the stage of the relationship, and the icebreaker that gives you an opportunity to move forward into, I guess, a deeper relationship so that they can get your trust and you can sell them the insurance. The follow-up is probably the most important piece of the program. Did you guys know that oftentimes prospects make decisions just based on the day that they're having? I think that that's no surprise, but I can call one of my candidates or my prospects, they're having a terrible day, and they basically are rude, and if I had to name my business again, other than Sawyer's Financial Services, I would probably name it Eat Crow Insurance, because the more I've been in this business, the more I've learned that no matter how wrong I am, I have to always be wrong And so the customer can always have control of the conversation. So when they're rude to me, I have to take that and just show humility and show that I'm very transparent. And that way, I'm a relatable person. And I would encourage everyone to be transparent in their conversation. But based on that information, that our timing is everything. You may call a person and they're having a terrible day, and you may call them back a week later, and they didn't get into an argument with their wife. They had a really good day with their spouse. They are willing to make a decision because they were positive, or they woke up in a positive way. So just know that no doesn't mean no, it means not now. So don't take the no's personal. Don't get defensive, and I would encourage everyone to just understand the theory of eating crow and moving forward with that relationship. Most agents make the initial call, but they never make a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh call. I'm going to encourage everyone to make that call even when someone tells you no. You almost have to get 3 no's. That's pretty much the typical response in sales. But don't be afraid to make that call and catch them on a better day, because it happens. It happens both directions, and they can't eat you. So I would encourage everyone to do that. 4 principles that I would say that has helped me is to be the first agent to call. So when you get the leads from Joe, be the first agent or the first person to call. I say the first agent because there will be other agents calling them. That's no surprise. Be consistent, number 2. Be persistent, number 3. And be decisive, number 4. Don't waste time. Although you're making 7 phone calls possibly, there is a point or a line that you must draw that you're not wasting your time, because not only you're wasting your time, what you're doing is you're beating yourself up, and then you're getting a negative experience. And so your negative experience, it's a negative attitude. So your next phone call could come off as a very negative phone call just because you had a bad experience with that one client. Keep it very simple. If you are a technical person like me, that's not always the answer. I'm getting more seasoned in my life, where we're almost without all of our children in the home. And I use this story because, we bought the big house, we had the nice stuff, and I don't say that to brag. I live in humility every day by day that I live, but I say that because now my wife and I are trying to simplify our life. With simplicity comes a lot of experience and a lot of understanding, because you've kind of been in the other shoes, and you want to keep this business very simple. In other words, don't make it too complicated. Through the young years, I've tried to make these businesses too complicated by using way too much technology, and I still use technology. My point is get a 3-ring binder. Take the mortgage lead, put it in there, flip through it with your fingers, take notes with a pen, go to old school, do the things that we know simply works. I would say that you should probably speak real with your people. I'll add that. I talked about eating crow, and don't overthink your conversations. Just do. In other words, you can think about that phone. That phone gets heavy. You may break out in a sweat when you make phone calls, but the more, like Steve said, the script is important. But once you make that script happen 1 or 2 times, it's going to be in your head. Learn to think on your feet. Learn that you're going to make mistakes on the phone call. But as you get better in your phone calls, you will find that it flows much easier. And don't think too much. Just do it. If you think, you'll never make that phone call. Finally, treat this like a business. When you get frustrated, make a call. When you get a no, make a call. When you don't have any money, make a call. And when you have a lot of money, make a call. That's about all I have today. I wish all of you the best of luck. Good luck to all of you. Don't procrastinate. Make this business happen. You've got a few days left before the end of the year happens, and I would suggest that everybody jump on board in this 4th quarter, and that's when people are making decisions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kent. Great job. We all appreciate it. We have about 5 to 7 minutes left here. But I think that was great insight from Kent, who's a real-life street agent just like you. So that was really important and a great take on the LEAD program and the fourth quarter end of the year in 2015. So definitely worth a shot, especially at this, 16% price saving. So we're going to keep moving forward here. Once again, thanks to Steve and Kent for joining us. All of the Agent Lead resources are going to be emailed out today. We also have a FAQ sheet on all of the basic questions that we have been asked throughout the years. We'll include that as well so everyone has a good handle on the program. We'll also include a sample lead so you can see what that looks and feels like. Joe is going to go over, we have 3 different co-op mailer lead programs, which are obviously a little different, a little less money. But again, like Kent said, you want to have, at least 2 to 3 programs going on at all times, so you always have someone to talk to or a story to tell. So, Joe, you want to share these quickly, and then we'll just show them a quick e-application, drop ticket, and we'll close out the call.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Bill. The first program I want to go over is actually a final expense direct mail program, which is actually something that we co-op through Transamerica. This is pretty neat. The cost is $330 per 1,000. The way this works is you actually pick the zip codes. You're going to pick the income. You're going to pick the age ranges. What's very unique about this program is you can actually submit those zip codes to our office before you even place an order. They will do a sales solicitation report for you to let you know how many people in those zip codes actually meet that criteria. So you're not picking zip codes that aren't going to produce real results. The average return on 1,000 mailers is what you're paying for. Is actually about 2 to 2.5%. So these are specifically final expense mailers, as you can see from the screenshot on the bottom here. The client's filling out their information. They're actually mailing it back. Yeah, it's actually getting sent directly to you. Then you can follow up and make that final expense sale. Transamerica, of course, has a great final expense product you can use in conjunction with this program. The next direct mail piece is actually through a third-party company called Legacy Safeguard. The cost is $420 per 1,000 mailers. This is that same kind of final expense type of client that you're actually mailing to. The neat thing about this is the Legacy Safeguard program is actually kind of a sales assistance tool that actually allows you to give your clients the Legacy Safeguard package, which offers them free planning services, allows them actually access to a funeral home locator, access to services that actually negotiate the price of the funeral cost. So this is actually a package that helps you sell final expense. It'll give your clients everything you're seeing on this page absolutely at no cost just by working with you as an agent. It actually comes with sales scripts, comes with a DVD and a CD to actually help you make that final expense sale. So again, that cost is $420 per 1,000. We also have an annuity co-op lead program. Again, Josh Hoffman in our office is at extension 23. The cost is $510 per 1,000 mailers. Of course, a little bit more expensive than some of the final expense material, but you are going after those annuity prospects. So your average commission on annuity sale is, of course, going to be much higher than a life sale. These are great. You're going to receive the responses directly. Any questions that you have on the annuity co-op piece, feel free to reach out to Josh Hoffman. Again, the response on these annuity mailers is about 2.5%. So a couple different options, like Bill mentioned, so you can actually have access to all different sorts of leads across different types of products.
Okay, thanks, Joe. This is our last slide here, and I just want to end with this. If you look at that statistic in the bottom right corner from LIMRA, 86% of all consumers researched insurance online before making an actual purchase. Okay, that was in 2013, so you could only imagine what that looks like today, a couple years later. That number is growing almost every day. So what that tells us all as agents and IMOs is we need to have an online presence, have your website, have your social media, know how to use a drop ticket. Okay, as soon as you get one of these leads on the phone, they're hot, they're ready to make a purchase. You pull up the quote, pull up the drop ticket, sign them up over the phone in less than 5 minutes. So you need to be comfortable with some of the basic technology that we offer. We give you everything at no charge. And once again, you can pick up the phone, call us. We will get you comfortable with, even if you barely know how to respond to an email, we're here to help you. Just always remember that. It's also our promise to you that if there's any new technology, a new product that rolls out, a new lead program, anything that's innovated in our industry, our promise to you is we will be the first ones, or one of the first ones, to roll this out to our field force. And I think the proof is in the pudding, because if you look at our history, we've always been there on the cutting edge. So with that said, I'm going to end with this. One last thing, too, before I forget. We're featuring Kerry Levinson, my father, who's been in the business since the late 60s and early 70s. He's going to host a one-on-one webinar going over all life insurance selling 101, bringing it back to basics. Okay, so he's going to have some great insight. That's it. In the next few weeks. We'll send out an email blast on that as well. And we'll end with this. The industry is always about changing, and that's exactly what we all need to do to keep moving forward and growing. Have one hat looking at your day-to-day operations, have another hat on looking to the left side to see what's coming next, what's down the road. Okay, that's my advice to you and ourselves here at Levinson & Associates. Have a great rest of your Monday, a great week, and good selling. Take care.